movie even gonna be about?
But first of all, we are live, and
oh yeah, but I knew the thumbnail came up, but I was not paying attention to the thing.
But we are outraged. Well, it started with Marcus telling me, and then now we are outraged.
Yeah, let's go through these thumbnails real quick. Let's go through these thumbnails. Yeah, let's go through these thumbnails real quick, and then we'll cover it. Anarchy in the arena. Joe retains against Mox. Next. Just want to get to the match. Sounds mean and rude, but next. This gentleman that hung out with Manny in this very blurry photo of him. Yes, it is a real photo, and no, this is not Photoshop. Said that AEW is better in every way. We may discuss that. Rhea Ripley went on a rant, just like we're going to go on a rant on Nick Cage's John Madden. This man took a leg. No remorse. May do jail time. And you know what? The bench special was on NXT. Champion and challenger teaming together. Although you can argue that AEW did the same thing with Hangman Page and Will Osprey as well.
Well, they're not official no more contenders yet.
Yeah, I know, but you know, it's just can they?
They're going to be. They're going to be.
Yeah, can they coexist? But let's start the show and rant about this Madden thing.
Well, welcome everyone to the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I'm, of course, the racially ambiguous Lord Matty Hayes. I knew you said the racist Lord Matty Hayes.
You better change that tag. Like you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught one day. You're gonna get slipped up. I'm the racist Lord Matty Hayes. Oh, he's open about it.
And over there is
the not racist Marcus the Grand finale. Not racist. And if Manny is claiming he's racist, I do not know him.
So Marcus decides in the last minute before we go live to tell me about this outrageous thing that Nicolas Cage in a John Madden movie, I think it's called Madden, much like the video game. This man is dead, people, and he's still being outrageous with his name, naming a whole franchise after himself. What's next? Madden 2, the movie.
Well, no, I hope the movie is about the game than the actual Madden Championship with the Raiders. I don't honestly care about that. I don't. And for Nicolas Cage to play John Madden, Manny, I believe that is a strike on the movie industry. This is not right. This is not right on any different level. I don't care how good he's playing. I think Christian Bale looks great as Al Davis, by the way. But Nicolas Cage is John Madden. We couldn't get any fat actor out there. Any fat motherfucker.
Yeah, but he looks like fat Charlie Dempsey.
This is Charlie Dempsey's future. Charlie Dempsey doing science at WrestleCon this weekend.
If anything, you could have got William Regal to play John Madden.
I mean, why? I think Christian Bale in that movie is going to be terrific and be the only reason to watch that movie. I can't imagine Nick Cage being great as John Madden. I can't even hear the voice. I can't even hear him going boom.
Christian Bale, the voice, I'm finding it hard to imagine what voice he's going to be using for Al Davis.
Well, Al Davis is a character anyway. I think Christian Bale should have played both. We've seen it in Sinners. We got the technology now. Christian Bale could have played both, and it would have been an amazing performance.
In Sinners, that's the one you're going to use. It's not. I'm not saying it's Sinners. I'm going to say.
What, you want to use the Parent Trap?
No, I'm going to say Night Professional.
You know the technology wasn't there for the Night Professional. The technology was not there for the. He had to shoot it and move.
Sizes. Al Davis and John Madden on different sides. In Sinners, Michael B. Jordan is just playing essentially his twin brother, the same person.
So you use him because of the clumps.
The only person you can compare this to is the Clump family, where he played the good majority of all of them.
Yeah, but you know what? In the Clump, the technology wasn't there. You're right. But the technology wasn't there. They can only show him sitting down, and it was Eddie Murphy shooting on different days and shit, trying to get this working. In modern day, in like Sinners and shit, you can just do that. Like, oh, we just did this seamlessly. I bet you Eddie Murphy went through hell for that movie. He deserved an award. He deserved like an award for that movie Because imagine sitting through makeup, probably about 6 hours for each fat suit.
The only person that was different in that movie was Hercules. Hercules.
Oh, he's strong now. Carson native though. Grew up with Hercules and big time.
Marcus, I don't think there is any news out there.
I mean, there was the news that the Osprey talk and the Omega talk and the Rhea talk. Do you want to cover any of that?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Rhea, I started Rhea. Rhea went hard on the fans and talked about how wrestling fans don't appreciate women's wrestling and that basically all the things they attribute to the business, and she criticized them for saying, "Oh, they look at the way they dress, look at the way they act." She goes over a bunch of stuff. Who are they sleeping with? Oh, they got injured.
Like this,
huh?
I've never heard anyone say she's sleeping with her boss. That's why she's where she is today. I've never heard that since the Divas era.
No,
maybe when Nikki
Bella
it
happened this weekend. It happened this weekend.
To who?
Giselle Shaw. And when she won the women, she's the first ever women's champion of Maple Leaf Professional Wrestling. And I know you don't consider them a real brand, Manny. But that was she got backlash for that. That just happened this weekend, and this may be what carried this rant for Rhea on X. Or
that's technically not fair because there's only a certain amount of people that applies to.
What, the sleeping with the boss thing?
Yeah.
Well, Triple H.
Yeah, but that was what? Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
She ain't no champion now.
I know, I'm just saying. She's just going over the history. And I think her critiques are valid. Wrestling fans ain't shit. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. She should retire. We had the she should retire chant when we call for the retirement of Lita. Because she had multiple bad performances. We call for the retirement of the Bellas. And people every week are coming after Charlotte Flair for all types of this shit. Charlotte Flair fits in like 3 different categories in this.
Yeah.
So I think it's just some stuff to build up.
I think, do you know the second to last thing? You guys are the real reason it's so difficult to be taken seriously as a women's wrestler. I think there's a few out there that I think this is more directed at the ones. Do you know the ones that are doing OnlyFans as a side hustle? Oh,
okay.
I think when people say that, I think it's kind of leering towards that, and I think that does sometimes take a hindrance to some women professional wrestlers that want to be taken seriously for professional wrestling, but then you look at the other side of things where there are women out there that women's wrestling on the independent does not pay well. It does not pay well. That's why you often see some of them do. I often see some of them do like multiple bookings across a weekend.
Yeah.
And sometimes even two matches in one night and do two different promotions.
Yeah, man, sorry to cut you off, but I'm going to say the men also don't get paid well, but you got to also take into account that women still get paid less than men as well. Yeah. So you can imagine how low that is. You can continue. I'm sorry. I just wanted to add that.
And then obviously, like, I watch Pro Wrestling EVE. That's all women promotion. But like, if you watch, especially on the independents, there'll normally only be one women's match on an independent show, even though there's a huge proponent of it. But then that's normally one of the better matches on the show. But then they still don't get paid as much as the men would, and you see the way crowds often scoff at women's wrestling in general. Like if you pay attention to that crowd at that Fatal 4-Way on AEW, they were not into that. They were like very much like
Fatal 4-Way. Which one?
The Eliminator match. Tony Storm, Mina.
Oh, when that tag? I thought that was a tag match. Did I trip out?
No, that was an Eliminator match.
Oh shit! I don't know why I remember. Yeah. I was half asleep when I watched it. People, I'm sorry. I thought it was a tag match. Maybe I didn't.
When you watch it back and you look at that crowd,
Tony.
There was not much interest in that. Yeah, despite Tony Storm being in that match, the way some of these fans treat women's wrestling, they treat it still like it's the 90s, the early 2000s when it was, I need to go toilet for during this match. This is a piss break match. This is a divas match. This is I don't care about it. So there is a lot of fans out there that still treat women's wrestling the way it is, and then when you look at that argument, you're almost not allowed to have an opinion because you need to make money on the side to support for a lot of them to support their dream to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
And if that means selling pictures of their body, who am I to judge them?
Make your money.
If people
make your money.
If people want to pay to see that, go ahead.
Yeah. My cousin's OnlyFans model. Fuck it.
It's you can't say anything to anyone like those words of you're making it difficult to support women's wrestling and all those stuff. Like I mean, you can't say stuff like that to people.
Yeah, I agree with Rhea. I agree with you, Manny. I agree with both statements. And I think we've all been conditioned over the years, like you were saying earlier, from the way women's wrestling has been treated in the past as basically restroom breaks, cool down matches, something to draw a rating because they're showing a little TNA, no pun intended, or whatever. And, this is what the male psyche of a wrestling fan is. And there's a lot of people who, and let's just be honest, in the world, the world's misogyny is strong in the world still. And people go, oh, I don't want to see the inferior product. But let me tell you something. The women's product, and I mean in all brands of entertainment, and sometimes more entertaining than the men. I would rather watch Caitlin Clark play over most of these NBA teams. It's more exciting. I would rather watch a lot of the women's matches on NXT and on the main roster than I would some of the men rosters. In fact, on this show, not to make this all about me, I would rather see Becky Lynch heel turn than John Cena's heel turn. But it's still treated as like a second class, even though the women have been putting out some work for a long ass time, essentially.
So I don't mean to make it this what I'm about to say about gender, but it is. But I could watch so many other independent wrestling in the UK because like Camden is like almost a hub where wrestling companies are. Progress isn't based in Camden. I don't go to watch that a lot of the time because it's just like, one, I don't like the fan base. I think it's very cliquey. It's so cliquey. But I've seen so many good male matches. So many. Like on TV, in person, stuff like that. I've seen so many. I feel like it's only men that shine in pro wrestling a lot of the time. Shine. Like it's very rarely that a woman shines in pro wrestling. They have moments here and there, but they don't stand out. But when I watch Pro Wrestling Eve, you actually see so many people, like whether they're like slightly green, finished articles, almost like Nina Samuels. You get to see Japanese talent come in. Like I see
AZM.
I haven't seen her actually live. I was
about to say it because you call her something.
I can't remember her name now. What's her name? Miyu Yamashika.
Oh yeah.
Fucking sick. I've seen her have so many sick matches. Like my first match I've ever seen her was her versus Lizzie Evo. And that was my first kind of step into Pro Wrestling Eve. And every match across that card is a banger. But if men are allowed to fuck around in the ring, you know what I mean? Like have fun in the ring, do these bits and pieces in the ring. Why can't the women?
Yeah. Why can't Harley Cameron be Santino? Or Chelsea Green? Or, all this, there's so many different women. We can just go on and on about how talented they are. And I think that, it's just misogyny and just self-hate. Like, I don't understand. Like, when you started this saying you'd rather watch some of the women, you'd rather watch Eve than progress and stuff. It looks like it's a more fun product. Honestly, it looks like they have fun.
It's fun.
This shit seems so serious and like it's so misogynistic and a headache. And right now, the most over wrestler in WWE right now is probably Rhea Ripley. Like you get a reaction, like minus like Rhea Ripley is so loved that she turned Bianca heel without Bianca doing anything, just by standing in front of her.
Yeah. And when like I'm not telling you to go out there and go support pro wrestling. But if you do, you'll have a fucking great time.
Yeah.
That's even without Will Osprey being involved in producing. Like, you have a great time. Like, I was having a great time before Will Osprey became a big, like, backstage kind of hand in this thing. Like,
he put his man paws on there.
But before he started putting his AEW money on it, he probably started putting his AEW money. But like, you get great women's wrestling. They do burlesque in the middle of it, like in terms of like a kind of like a mid show break kind of thing.
Halftime show or something.
No, they do it twice, so it's not really a halftime show. But like when you in the British wrestling scene, like if you go back in the day, they came pretty much hand in hand. So like they've continued this whole continued it, and I've noticed that even when those acts are on, I mean it's not everyone's cup of tea, I guess, but like I see those like pure wrestling fans, and when they're on, and then the women are doing their performance, and the performance is actually normally great. They're like this, like Eric on a watch along.
It doesn't matter if you're male or female. Eric will hit that phone in the middle of your match or your show, and then look up. I'm watching. I'm listening. I just think that this is just me how I feel personally. And just when I watch television and all forms of entertainment, movies or whatever. And you know what? My opinions are my opinions, but I'm going to say this straight up. I'm tired of seeing big white men do stuff. It's time to see other people do stuff. Like, that's basically what we get. We don't get people of color. We don't get women well represented. You know how long it took them to get that Black Widow fucking made, that movie?
Yeah, and it's a good movie. And it was because it came out during COVID, which I think was an excuse in the first place anyway, because I think that would have done great at the box office.
Yeah. And you know what? The biggest star in the MCU right now is Florence Pugh anyway. Right now, like, she successfully did Thunderbolt. She's the main character of that one. She was the main character of Black Widow. Like, she's become a major star in Hollywood anyway. She's in everything, it seems like.
Everything she does is banged recently, though. Like,
yeah, everything she's in has been great. Like,
except, do you know what I'm gonna say? I didn't like her in Oppenheimer. It ruined it for me.
You know what, Manny? I agree. That's all of that was unnecessary. I don't need to see Oppenheimer fuck. Before Oppenheimer came out, me and Ryan would argue. We were joking like, "Oh, why is this rated R?" Because we were like, "Oh, can we get to see Oppenheimer fuck? We get to see him fuck." And then when there's a sex scene in there, we're like, "Why is this here?"
I can't even call that a sex scene.
No, it wasn't. It was like she was
dry humping him.
Yeah, he's sitting there. I'm in the world.
While everyone was in a cup chair.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to see it. But I'm just saying, like, it's time for new stories. There's new representation out there. It's the 21st century, damn it. And we're almost halfway through the 20s of this decade anyway. More representation for anything. And I want it to be quality. I don't want it to just be trash that is forced out there. Like, oh, here we go. It's just, here's She-Hulk.
Yeah, I think, do you know what? Do you know this argument over the last couple of years, I would say? And you can even go as far as say Triple H doesn't like black men. Black males, and then they bring up the statistic like a black male hasn't won on a pay-per-view in so long individually and all that. Yes, I get that, But wouldn't you want to pay attention to one of the most diverse divisions ever, where a black woman was on top for the longest time in Bianca Belair? Now you've got an Asian woman being taken seriously as the world champion. In
First
Io
time
Sky.
any Asian wrestler has been taken serious in WWE.
Yeah. Well, Asuka.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry, Oscar. I forgot.
The women's division is one of the most diverse divisions out there, but people are so focused on men, like even black males, Asian males, they're so focused on the male division that they fail to see the diversity going on in the women's division. It'd be nice if it was the same in the men's division. It would be brilliant if there was that much diversity. But if I want that diversity, I'll go watch NXT. I don't have a problem. I know where to find my diversity.
Yeah. Or you know what? Even AEW, it's a very diverse show on Dynamite or Collision and stuff. Like they get people from everywhere. Do any of them ever win? Probably not.
No.
But it's a very fucking diverse show. I mean, I guess the Hurt Syndicate are winners and Swerve. But
because I find we'll talk about it. We'll get onto AEW Dynamite.
We get. You know what? I got a little bit more. Fuck it. Saraya was posting. There was just earlier in the week, or I guess it's still early in the week. We're midweek, but last week, or she was talking about how she never wanted to do a romance angle in wrestling. She never wanted to do a romance angle, and she never has done a romance angle. And AEW, Tony wanted her to do a romance angle, similar to the way Ruby Soho hooked up with what's his name? Angelo Parker? Kuhan or whatever.
Kuhan.
And they wanted she wanted her to get into a relationship with Daddy Magic at the same time. And it's just one, that sounds horrible. I would not watch that, Tony. And two, good for her for like going, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do a romance thing. I'm a professional wrestler. That's her paraphrasing her words from whatever interview this was from. And I was like, good for her. Good for her.
But then
she got a lot of shit for that.
Yeah, but in the same vein, Bailey was on Chris Van Vliet saying she wants to do a romance angle.
Yeah. But I think women should be able to do whatever they want to do. It should just come down to that.
Yeah. Well, think the romance angle comes from a horrible place because it comes from the Vince playbook.
Yeah. How to fall in love, we can teach sex, we can do the wedding.
It hasn't necessarily happened in the Triple H era in terms of booking. But we're it's been dabbled with in NXT.
He booked Dexter Lumis, Indy Hartwell.
Was that him or was that Sean?
I think that was him. Sean booked the wedding. But I think Hunter had it before it did.
Yeah. But like
he had to thumbs up as they were going up the ramp and shit.
Yeah, I think this way the men think, and it's like internet wrestling fans that they hide behind this keyboard. You would never say that to their faces. You wouldn't even dream to say that to their faces.
Imagine somebody walking up to Liv Morgan going like, you're only here for your looks, in her face. Nah, these fools would fold and be such simps.
Yeah.
Right away. Oh, you're my favorite wrestler, Liv. Oh, Charlotte. Even Charlotte, they would probably go, oh, Charlotte. Oh, I love your dad. I love your career. You're the best woman. They'll kiss her ass too. They would just do it. These people are cowards. All these keyboard warriors that criticize and go online, they're just cowards. They would never say it to their face. And if they did, they know that someone, if not the woman, would knock their ass out.
Yeah. Did you want to touch on this, Will Osprey? We are better than them in every way. Or
you know what? Tune in Saturday for that. We spent a lot of time talking about the women right now. We devoted the first 20-something minutes to the women and John Madden. So
John Madden of all people.
That was my diversity. Manny brought the women to his diversity argument. I brought fat people to my diversity argument.
Yeah, with John Madden. Do you know what? It's a topic I could speak quite perfectly on because of how I heavily support Eve Pro Wrestling. Why don't my mind went blank?
Man, you're drunk. You're drunk. You shaved your dog, and now you can't even think straight. I don't even know how that.
I did not shave my dog. I paid for that to happen.
Yeah, but I paid for a hit to happen. They still count me as the murder.
Do you know how much I paid for that, Marcus? It was 10% of a PlayStation Pro. It's £65.
Man, you kiss my ass. But you know what? I guess that's about what a normal haircut costs these days anyway. You ready to jump into the reviews this week in wrestling?
Yeah, let's get to Dynamite.
It's spring break, y'all. Woo-hoo.
So, AEW break. Will Osprey and Hangman Adam Page take on Takeshita and Josh Alexander. Hangman and Will hit a hidden blade buckshot lariat combo for the win. I mean, this tag match was a decent tag match.
It was a decent tag match. I enjoyed the tag match. I have an issue though, and it's not really an issue. It's just the way I would have did the finish.
What's the finish? So
I enjoyed the spot where Will Osprey almost hit the hidden blade on Hangman Page. Right? I thought that was a cool spot. I think that they should have lost the match. Hangman and Will Ospreay to the Couch family, they lose every week anyway. But to cause their dissension and all that, I think Hangman, after Will didn't land it, Hangman lands the buckshot on him. And then he gets pinned by Josh or Takeshita or whatever. And then they have their kerfuffle. Maybe they do their post-match brawl or not, and you build to the match. I thought that would have built to the match better than them winning. Then they're getting attacked, get their heat back, and then they're beating up the Couch family again. Basically what happened. And I was like, I didn't need that. I would rather see the drama between Will and Hangman progress into this going into the tournament. We're like 2 weeks away.
I think they got it. I think they got it at the end of the match. I think like when they tried to attack after the bell, and then Will takes them out, and then like he thinks he's about to hit someone else, but it's Hangman. I think they achieved that without, because Marcus, I think this Will Ospreay connection to the Don Callis family nonsense, it needs to stop.
Yeah.
This is Ken Shamrock and The Rock.
I was just saying that. The Nation versus Ken Shamrock, essentially. That went on for like 2 years. Raw's Retro had a short wingspan, but I bet you on every single episode, Ken Shamrock is fighting The Rock in some capacity.
Yeah. It needs to stop.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I do think they could have did the fit. They need to get the Cow family some wins. I mean, it's no reason to have them be this heel faction that comes out there every week and just basically lose. They lose every week, whether it's Brian Cage, Lance Archer, or the rest of these bums. And why did Josh Alexander have to take the pin? He's kind of a new shiny toy. Couldn't you have gotten Trent or Rocky Romero or whoever else is in that group that's pinned? I would have protected Josh Alexander. I wouldn't have pinned Takeshita, but I would have protected Josh Alexander and had the other members go. And where were the other members? Why do we never get the full set? It's like playing the old video game back in the day when you do a battle royal, you're going to have 4 people in the ring. Like, we're always limited to the Couch family. It's like big roster of people.
Is Josh Alexander just not the hype we thought he was going to bring to AEW? Because they're not treating him like he is.
No, this is exactly what I thought they were going to bring. I think I said it. He's just going to come in. He's not going to be interesting. And he's going to be like Brian Cage. He's too tall for Tony. If you're taller than Tony, then you can't get over.
So Ricochet takes on Zach Gowen.
Battle for the leg. Coming out in crutches, Manny.
So this was a big thing coming out of Collision last week. And I was like, why? Or when it was... we didn't necessarily cover Collision, all right? Last week. It was all over socials.
Yeah.
I didn't need to see this then. I don't need to see this now. Why was it on there?
I don't know why this is happening. Like, who is this helping? It's not even a hometown hero match. Like, they introduced him. I was like, oh, maybe he's from Chicago. This is something. And I was like, no, he's from, I forgot where the fuck he's from. But I was like, why are we getting this? Why is this happening? How is this helping anybody? It's just taking up TV time. And I know maybe it's trying to make Ricochet look like an asshole or something, but it really didn't do anything. It was a comedy match from the beginning for me.
But Marcus, if AEW still did power rankings and all that shit, Ricochet should go down.
Yes,
for this. He doesn't go up. He doesn't go up. One, Zach Gowen's not even employed by AEW. Two.
You come with all my arguments. Go ahead, keep going.
Two, why? Getting a win over a man with one leg does not contribute you to getting anything else. You should be able to beat a man with one leg.
Yeah, Manny, you're jumping ahead. Two should be they went through a commercial break. The fuck, Ricochet? Not only that, he kicked out of Ricochet's 450. He kicked out of another one of Ricochet's signature moves as well toward the end. And Ricochet was about to resort to the scissors to stab him because he couldn't handle the one-legged man? It's ridiculous. So when I was watching this, I imagined the movie The Fugitive. You know, he's fighting a one-armed man. Not to compare disabilities and make fun of it. I'm just saying, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ricochet's supposed to be one of your top talents, and there he's struggling. He's over here on Twitter criticizing Javon, and they're going in their war. We didn't cover that here, but the whole battle they're went through, and Javon called him a crackhead and shit, or working for a crackhead, whatever that was. And then you can't talk shit. You can't talk shit if you go in a commercial break with a one-legged man. And then on top of that, Tony Khan ain't shit. Tony Khan's a billionaire, Manny. This man got his leg stolen on Saturday. It's been about 5 days, 4 or 5 days. Tony couldn't help him out and give him another leg. Tony couldn't give him another leg. Your employee stole his leg. This man came out on crutches, and I was like, he couldn't get another leg from nowhere. And, you know, the cherry picking non-storyline, when Steve Austin ran over that woman at WrestleMania, everybody went to go check on him. Zach Gowen was a fan on Collision who got pulled into or came into the ring. You would think Tony would have been like, shit, this shouldn't have been happening. Here's another leg. Here's a gold-plated leg. Can't believe it. Can't believe it.
But Marcus,
anyway, Ricochet looked weak and nothing was accomplished from this.
You're going into a match against Zach Gowen. What are you doing? How you defeating this man?
Well, Manny, first of all, I go with eye poke. My office always starts with eye poke. And then chop block to the leg when he turns around. I'm DDTing the other leg. I'm doing everything. I'm doing a single Boston crab. I'm going to work. I'm I'm DDTing the leg. I'm going to work. That's all I'm saying. What you doing?
I'm taking Owen Hart's offense in 1994 when he kicks the leg out of his leg.
Absolutely. Oh, but you know that is what it is. But I just felt like this segment served no purpose and made everybody look weak. I'm sure there was someone in that locker room who isn't getting TV time could have used this spot.
There are so many people in that locker room.
Was it this week where Roosh came out? Was that last week where Roosh attacked somebody?
Roosh must have come out last week.
That was last week when he attacked. I forgot who he attacked. God damn it.
Top Flight are mad at MJF and they want the titles from the Hurt Syndicate. Dustin hypes them up. MJF states that the roster is stacked and says that joining the Hurt Syndicate will help make them unstoppable, and becoming a 2-time champ would be an inevitability for him.
Yeah, when Dustin showed up and Sammy Guevara, one of the pillars, just randomly show up on Dynamite. I feel like it's in Dustin's contract to show up on Dynamite once a month. Like, for no reason. He always shows up for no reason. And it's like, you need to respect the elders, and he'll say bitch or shit or something.
No, the last time I saw him was when Jeff Jarrett was trying to make a final run.
Yeah. I just don't need it. I didn't need Dustin there. And I felt bad for Sammy Guevara for the first time in my life going, can you get him out of this, Tony? I don't know what issues you have with him now and the headache is. Why is he treated so poor? Like, he's treated worse than anybody. And you may say Jack Perry was a scapegoat. I feel like Sammy Guevara has gotten it worse than anybody.
Yeah, but he did bring it on himself a lot of the time.
Yeah. But you know what? A lot of people did. He's still there. Yeah, he got into a fight with Andrade, and that's the reason Andrade's gone. Yeah, he injured a few people like Jeff Hardy, who's no longer in your company.
The Hurt Syndicate defeat Top Flight. Bobby doesn't release the Hurt Lock. Dustin comes out and says, "You think that makes you look like a badass? Makes you look like an asshole."
By the way, strike. This is a delayed strike from last week because we didn't have a show. Remember in our thumbnail, who would MJF attack or whatever? Top Flight. I was so disappointed. I was like, I don't care. And I don't understand how attacking two young black men got you into the blackest group in AEW. Just don't feel like that should be the same correlation. Maybe maybe Tony didn't see the connection, but I was like, that don't work for me. That does not work for me, brother. On the side note with this, Top Flight got their ass kicked by MJF last week. One man beat their ass, buried. And then this week, they're in the tag match talking about, yeah, we just want to tag each other and all that. They got their ass whooped and squashed. It's over. It's all over.
Yeah, but then the audacity, Marcus. So Dustin wants a tag title match. Leo Rush in Action and Dratty come out, they want one.
I think Leo Rush wanted more when he tried to come out. The Crew, as they're being called. Spell CRU. Leo Rush, I think, expected a bigger reaction from him talking about him and Lashley being together all this time because the crowd wasn't having it. They didn't care. They didn't care about that day. That's a factor in Lashley's career we all wanted to forget because that was right before he did the Lana shit and just reversed back to being champion.
Then they all leave. Then the Hurt Syndicate call out MJF. He doesn't come out when his music hits. They go backstage, and Tony Khan, who is it? Who else was it? Jerry Lynn and someone else.
I almost fell asleep. I saw Jerry Lynn.
And then MJF is hiding behind him as Tony Khan snitches. It's like, he's right here. He's right here, looking like a total goofball.
Yeah. Did he do anything normal?
No,
I just feel like everything comes out as the most awkward thing. Even snitching looked bad on him. Like just going like this looked bad. I don't know. Well, anyway, MJF eventually comes out, or Sheldon brings him out, and they do the thumbs up thing, and then they all let him in. 3. I lost 100% interest at this point. Later in the show, Mark Sterling's talking about we got to go over the contract. This is the same storyline he had when he was trying to get into the Inner Circle. Was that what he was trying to get with Jericho?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this is the exact same storyline.
Before he started the Pinnacle.
I'm expecting Div and Devon there with Bobby Lashley.
Then we get the Eliminator match, the Fatal 4-Way. Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa, Azumi, or AZM, however you want to read it, versus Sky Blue, a returning Sky Blue.
Chicago's own Sky Blue!
But Mina rolls up Tony Storm for the win. Mercedes Moné attacks Azumi after the match because she defeated her for the New Japan Strong title. And then Jamie Hayter makes the save. Still looking like April O'Neil from the Ninja Turtles. Yeah. So much happened after this match.
It was so much. It was like clusterfuck of shit going on right here. And match was fine, whatever. The main story about this is Tony giving up on Mina's new music right away. I've never seen nobody give up on something that fast in my life. Like, give it a week, Tony. Give it a week. Mina came out with a new dance routine. She wasn't jiggling her tits as much. She
had too much stuff on for you to notice it.
So she's out there doing her dance routine. I'm going like, this music ain't hitting. Because I was like, this doesn't sound like Mina, but maybe I forgot. Maybe they changed it before and I don't remember. I don't know.
No, because when I only noticed it, I noticed it was going to be her because the title song said Mina.
Yeah, that's true. Same thing, same reaction. Even though they did announce the match, when it said Mina, I was like, "Oh, it's her." But I felt like I did have that inkling that something was off with her music. I didn't find out till later that, and at the end, that Tony Ray's quit her song. Looking on Twitter as people were going crazy about it. I didn't realize it was actually changed until later on in the evening. I knew something was off. Something was different. And I didn't know what it was. And she's officially a part of AEW officially now.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good move for her or not. But she's getting paid.
Yeah. I'm sure she's getting paid very well. But, I feel like she's going to, she may win the title. Tony's only mean to them white girls who just show up and challenge somebody and then they disappear. Hey, Megan Bain, where you been?
I don't understand why Danny Garcia wants to fight with Nigel McGuinness.
Oh, yeah, this was out of nowhere to me. I'm blindsided by this. Well, he didn't want to fight. He made the save or something on Collision. I'm glad they gave us a package from Collision of what happened because it seemed like they weren't going to do that. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing? And so Stokely goes after Nigel and his hepatitis. He claims FTR isn't here. Surprise, surprise, they are here. And then, Nigel looks strong, and I guess he's going to team with Danny Garcia to take on FTR.
I don't know if I want to see that.
Yeah, I don't know either. But fine. If Pat McAfee can have a match, so can Nigel McGuinness, Manny.
Yeah, but it's going to be a better match. If no, it's not going to be a better match.
Pat's more over.
Marcus, if we were saying what so much happened after the women's eliminator match, so much happened during this steel cage match.
Yeah. I'm giving them a strike, and this is when they lowered the cage. The reason they get the strike for lowering the cage, Manny, is because the guy that put the lock on there didn't do it right.
Yeah.
So they can still open the door. So when Moxley and Joe hit the cage, you can see the door kind of almost flying open. So it wasn't really locked all the way. And I was like, oh, that's horrible. And even when you see him locking the cage, you see the guy struggling with, I don't really know how to lock this. Just practice shit, Tony. Just have your people practice shit. And then the match, whatever, was fine. Then it became a clusterfuck. Gabe Kidd showed up, and I don't know what his connection is. And then Moxley wins after hitting Joe with the briefcase, even though they survived a lot worse. Both men survived a lot worse.
Hey, no,
match.
The briefcase also had a belt in it. It would have been like being hit with us in the block.
I don't think the belt adds anything because the briefcase looks solid that it wouldn't carry the weight. I think it's just all briefcase. It's like a Money in the Bank hitting it.
No, it's more like the briefcase that the $1 Million Man had at WrestleMania 9 that had bricks in it and and money.
So Mox retains after all this. There's a bunch of interference. Hobbs threw somebody through a table. Willow came out there and got destroyed. And it also she re-upped with AEW. We got a new 3-year contract. Good for Willow.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I heard the contract was coming up.
Yeah. So
I feel like that's someone that they should pay immediately.
Yeah. At the end, the Young Bucks come out. They lower the cage. More shenanigans happen. Swerve then makes a very slow save. It's so slow that even Prince Donovan was like, "Come on, Swerve! Y'all know you want to do full injuries. Can you make this save?" Saves are getting ridiculous in wrestling. Saves are getting ridiculous.
Let me speak on this. He climbs to the top of the cage. He dives on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone runs away from one man. They had the numbers game in this. Had the numbers game.
He's the most dangerous man in AEW.
I don't care.
Manny, here's in full logic. They're in a cage. Swerve climbs the cage. They all see him climbing the cage. They all watch him climb the cage. He's going to jump down? Go ahead. We'll move. At least one of them 20 people in the ring will move. And then we kick his ass. Instead of him jumping in and him taking out maybe one buck or something, they just all retreat. They should have kicked his ass. There was like 30 of them. There was bald white man, bigger bald white man, and shorter bald white man in the ring, and William Yuta. They could have all kicked his ass.
The addition of Gabe Kidd to this team does not help the already pro wrestling bits narrative of
the white
supremacist group.
Yeah, it's a skinhead group. But I'm just saying, and this goes for WWE as well. You don't bring in somebody that is smaller than people already in your group and say that's a threat. Gabe Kidd is smaller than Claudio and Moxley, and they look the same. All bald white guys. And it just looks like a big and small. Like he kept drinking milk until he got the Claudio size.
So,
and this goes for Jeff Cobb, too. Coming in with Solo and Jacob. Looking all small.
Yeah, but Jeff Cobb's falling into that talking barrel argument I have from Bronson Reed.
You know who wouldn't sign Jeff Cobb after watching him walk to the ring? Vince.
I have a better beard than Jeff Cobb.
Jesus, I know you're attacking the man's beard.
That beard was terrible, Marcus, and
it's a stubble. It's not more of a beard.
Marcus, that was a pubic beard, and
he chose not to shave for like 2 days.
That was a pubic beard, and you know it.
And that was Dynamite. Oh, they announced Anarchy and Rhea at Double or Nothing, which fine. Again, it seemed obvious it was going to happen. I guess Willow's a part of this one. I guess that's the only difference. Or was she a part of the last one?
No, Willow's going to be part of this, and then Marina Shafir. But I have a problem with women fighting men because it just said an idiot watching this will think it's okay to do it outside of wrestling. That's why I can see why WWE steers away from it as much as possible, especially when they have those types of matches. They will never have a man actually attack a woman. They will always be the one. Anything they try and throw will be dodged or evaded, and then all the moves will actually be done by the woman onto the man.
Yeah, unless you're Randy Orton, who will connect with his RKO.
Yeah, but
that's Randy business.
That's Randy being Randy.
Randy can get away with murder at this point. But yeah, overall, solid. It was a solid show, but you know what? I don't know how I feel about it.
I know how I feel about it, Marcus. I enjoyed it more than I watched NXT.
Ooh.
And
I can't give it that.
It's
probably right. That's not.
I didn't want to treat NXT yesterday. I watched it today. So I watched AEW first.
Oh.
And watched NXT second. And I think I think I was wide awake while watching these today. I wasn't exhausted. I wasn't exhausted or anything, and I actually enjoyed AEW more this week.
Okay. I enjoyed NXT more, but it's probably for all the wrong reasons. Let's jump into NXT. Probably. It's for all the wrong reasons. All of them. There's not a good reason why I enjoyed this NXT at all. I enjoyed it for all the wrong reasons.
So the NQCC are out there. Shout out to this is how you put someone on TV that's not on all the time. Ren Sinclair was on TV a lot on this episode, but was she annoying? No. Who's annoying? Thea Hale, and
Thea Hale did nothing annoying this week. She did nothing wrong this week. She had a good, solid match. Anyway,
Miles Bourne
cuts a promo.
He's partially deaf, and it affects the way he talks. But he doesn't want to be judged by his disability. He wants to be judged by his ability. Ethan Page comes out, says just because he won the battle royal on a fluke, tells him he can't be over because he isn't on his level. Charlie talks Miles into a match about putting his number one contendership against Ethan Page. Ava comes out like, "Are you sure you want to be doing this? But you seem confident, so I'm going to allow it to happen."
Yeah, you fool! What are you doing? What are you doing, Ava? You come out here and make your decisions. I figured he was going to win, but I was just like, what the fuck?
So I'm giving Charlie Dempsey a strike.
For what?
The state of that tan. He's tanned from the front, Marcus. He is orange on the face. His back has been completely missed. That is a ridiculous tan.
I believe he gets tanning skills from his father, who also was just as pale as I don't know what out there, just turning red. But this storyline, basically, to update people who didn't watch last week, Charlie Dempsey declared himself the number one contender, said, no, NQC rules. Anybody can win. So, and they're like, no, man, it ain't like that. So he still thinks he's the winner. So they're basically breaking them up when Miles gets his title match. And I want to jump to the Miles match real quick, just because, get out the way. Dude looks, he's too much like Randy Orton.
He is.
He's too much like Randy Orton. He's the bald head, the tattoo, the arms, the moveset. It's all Randy. It's all Randy.
But I gotta give it to him, man. I think he's dead. Did you see the pictures? I think he's dead.
I see it. I know. Manny, I believe he's now a sworn enemy of the wrestling community. And also, I would like to give Miles Moore the Handicap Wrestler of the Week.
Oh, you're not giving it to Zach Gowen?
Nah, I think Miles Moore had the better match. But you know what? It's nice getting wrestlers with disabilities on TV. This is a unique week to get two people with two unique disabilities in wrestling. And it's encouraging for those who out there who have disabilities. All right. Oba versus Charlie. That was a really solid match.
You know what? Solid match. I thought. Do you know? I saw this first appear on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And they said Oba obliterated Charlie Dempsey.
He got pushed to the limit
in the title of the video.
Yeah,
that's not the case.
No, he pushed him to the limit. Charles had a good show.
No. The limit has changed, Marcus, because Zach Gowen pushed Ricochet to the limit. At no point did Obafemi go, "You're pushing me too far. I'm going to go outside and grab a weapon."
I need to grab scissors. I need to stab you.
The limit has been changed, Marcus. The limit has been changed.
Man, also, I didn't bring up Ricochet was chased off the ring by Zach Gowen, who was crawling on the ground. Like a zombie just beating those, like, I'm trying to get the back. Oh, so one-legged zombie coming after me. Kind of scary because he's still alive, but what the fuck? But no, Ricochet was like, what the fuck? And dove out the ring. What the hell's all this? Anyway.
Yeah,
like a 40-year-old man too, Ricochet. Old and he has one leg. But yeah, Charles looked good in this week.
Tony D'Angelo took on Wesley.
This
match was okay. Stacks interrupts it. I know the location of Rizzo's Steakhouse. Distracting Tony D, which allowed Wesley to pick up the win.
Many moments later, Tony D gets in the car with one of his goons, the usual fat goon with the little hat, and he goes to the safe house. Stacks gets the drop auto and beat him with, I think, a crowbar, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and he gets the jump auto. Manny, in all the 24, I don't know if you watched 24, but the way Jack Bauer traveled through Los Angeles is the way no one has ever traveled through Los Angeles in speed. So I'm not going to give Tony D that credibility whatsoever. I'm going to say this. If I have a safe house, it's not going to be 20 minutes. What the fuck? It was less than 20 minutes or 30 minutes, right?
Something like
he just left, and I felt like he came back after the commercial break. It was there. I was like, holy shit. What kind of safe house is this? There was no drive. You kept her in Florida. Okay, that's fine. But to say, I'm going to get there and save the day, the safe house is 30 minutes away. I swear to God, the FBI said we can protect you. We're going to put you in the safe house before you testify. Where is it? Down the street from the courthouse.
See, I would have preferred if he did like some type of switcheroo, like he just made it seem like he knew. Then Tony D goes to the actual location to make sure she's safe, and then he follows and attacks him. Yeah, and then gets Rizzo. I thought that would have been a better angle. But as dumb as this story is, I'm really enjoying it.
Stacks is shining in this. Stacks is shining. I'm really liking what Stacks is doing. And I have so many questions about this whole thing. One, Tony D with the no sale after the match. Just ran straight to the car. 2, the location is like 20 minutes away, less than 20 minutes away. 3, did Rizzo know any of this was happening? Did she look out the window going, "Oh shit"?
No, I'm sure if you're hiding, you're allowed to have the windows open.
Did she just flee? Like, let me get the fuck out of here.
You would have thought Tony called her.
Yeah, he didn't drop no cell phone. He didn't have time to get a cell phone, man.
Unless Stacks has got his phone bugged.
Yeah. And also, do you think Rizzo was not watching NXT tonight? I feel like she did, unless the safe house does not have cable. She should have got out of there.
And why the internet?
Yeah, and what? Again, I told you I had a million questions. If Tony D has the Don family and, you know, the D'Angelo family and all that, and he's layered with goons. No protection at the safe house. She's just living there, huh? She's just out there. You think you would have seen goons out and been like, pop, 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 and I really mean it. Pop, pop, pop. Tony's killed people before. 2 guys have died for less.
As he's pointed out, 2 weeks ago, Stack says he doesn't know who he can trust in the family at this moment in time anymore. Except those 3 fat men that were standing on the top on the ring apron because they can't do anything.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. West brings up a point. The driver was a snitch. How you let a cameraman in on the ride? Why y'all didn't call the boys on the way? Like, yeah. Why is it just a Tony Russell's Manny in gun holsters? He didn't decide to go get those guns. He didn't have any in the car. And I'm just talking to you know, as I'm not a gangster, Manny. I'm not in the Italian mafia or proclaiming to be, or anywhere near it. I'm just saying, Tony, get your shit together. You're fighting a Mulian. You're fighting a Mulian Wesley in the ring.
Marcus, you already raised a point. This man has a second job, all right? He's a mob boss.
Yes.
What makes you think, oh, I want to win a championship? I need to go get the championship. I need to go wrestle. I'm a don. I don't need to do this shit.
Yeah, I'm doing this as a hobby. If I feel like there's infiltration, the family could be in jeopardy, and there's hits going out, and God forbid whatever happened to Lucy Crucifino. No mourning of his death. Thanks, Don. You unsympathetic bastard. Just so much, but you know what? I will say this for the record. My favorite storyline in wrestling right now.
Yeah, I know, right?
It is a old school fucking what? This is in the real world. It's no way. And also, Wesley and the Don had a pretty good match. I enjoyed it.
I did. I don't know what that interaction with Adonis and Javon Evans was backstage.
I don't know either. Javon was just on his phone, and Ashanti's just staring at him like this. And then he's talking about you need to hit I forgot what he said. I don't even know what he was talking about. He was talking about, he's like, don't you need to go hit on girls or something? Or I can't remember the exact interaction. But next week, I can't wait. Black on black.
Tatum Paxley is furious that her friends are gone. They were, which I felt like this is the best thing ever, because they made reference to someone that were 2 people that were released, and then you're like, oh, Thea, hell, you're a grown woman now, you're grown up and all this bullshit. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you. Oh, is this the second time this has happened to Tatum? When one of her tag partners were released or something? I feel like this is twice.
No,
because she was saying it keeps happening.
No, Lyra got moved to the main roster, wasn't it?
Oh, it was Lyra. Yeah, she betrayed her.
Yeah.
It was Lyra that betrayed her. And then now Chemical X is released after it seemed like she finally. I mean, she has reasons to go crazy.
And then Tatum takes on Thea Hell.
Wendy Chu turned on her too.
Where the fuck is Wendy Chu?
I see her on the highlights of Evolve, I guess. I don't know what she actually is doing.
Paxi gets DQ'd for taking out Thea's eye whilst in an armbar. I don't think that's a DQ.
That's called defense. That's not a DQ. That's defense.
That was an accident. I mean,
if you want to call rules, Randy Orton and John Cena both poked each other in the eye at the start of their match. We could have threw that main event out. We're gonna do it like this.
Referee I'm not talking about the OTM video package.
Yeah, they're vignette. They're coming back. This is the second one. They had one the week before too.
Yeah, I mentally switched off when that happened. Marcus, how would you, if you're Kalani Jordan?
How did you see Manny go? Just shut down.
You're Kalani Jordan. You have a match against what's her name? Zarya. And she spears you through the barricade. You're gonna complain the following week?
No, she got me. She got me. What I'm gonna do?
How are you gonna spear me through a barricade?
Yeah, you can't. What the hell? You think this is selling? He's like, oh, blah, yada. And they're gonna fight next week, and winner goes after Sol Roca for the North American title.
Can you explain to me what happened during this contract signing?
No. I remember Ava telling them to settle down, sign the contract. Shut up, Nepo baby. Where's your Andre the Giant singlet this week?
Well, so Briggs is upset in the Mora left, despite him being pissed off they kept losing.
He left last week. It was the best.
Sean Spears tells him he is a cancer when it comes to relationships, and he's like, I don't need to hear this right now. Because you know it's true. You know it's true.
It's you. It's all you, Briggs. Brooks came up with some more hate. It's always been you. They're your former tag partner. Who, by the way, ain't doing shit either by himself. It's not like he out there made a name for himself.
Fatal Influence take on Jordan Grace and Stephanie Vakir.
Stephanie's getting a strike.
Well, do you know what? Jordan gets a strike for last week for dumping Julia on her head twice.
She did. Julia's okay though. I was shocked that Julia was on Raw that week.
Well,
I was like, she should be dead. She jumped. I saw the first one when she just kind of falls straight on her head.
The first one, she didn't rotate enough for the move. But it's also because Jordan's kind of small, so it's harder. But Julia should have rotated more, but she landed on her head. Then it happened the second time in that match. I'm just like, damn.
Yeah. I didn't see.
Jordan's had to become we need to start tracking of without incident soon.
Yeah, she's gonna become the new Nia Jax. The reason Stephanie's getting a strike is for the Matt Bourne photos of being in a relationship with him.
No, you can't do that.
I'm doing it. And two, when she showed up to the arena, all her titties were out this week. Just showed up in a bra. Like, this is what I'm doing. Then she did her interview. And I'm like, why? Why are you doing this?
Why not, Marcus? Why?
Can't believe her. Booker T's heartbroken. Bless you. Imagine, I can see Miles Bourne getting the devil's kiss all night. Again and again. Anyway, this was a solid main event. And the standout for me on this match was Bailey Henley, who I believe the Forevers in NXT will be there forever. It goes
the Forevers. That should be their tag team name, the Forevers.
The Forevers, because it seems like they're never leaving. Her, JC. I'm also throwing the Don and Wesley in there. These people are never leaving.
Andre Chase is
Chase. Yeah. Timothy Thatcher doesn't even work there. He's still in.
He's back. He had an excursion.
Yeah. He was in Evolve for a bit. Or he was in everywhere else. So I guess he
Can
showed
I just
up in
say,
Evolve.
I like that Timothy Thatcher's back under the umbrella.
Yeah. I like that they still add people. Like, I like that you can get released and still kind of work there.
Yeah.
By the way, the Key to Lions was on this show. Still there. I mean,
look at
the LFG segment.
Marcus, Bubba Ray and Undertaker look like two divorced men with their new girlfriends.
They look like they were about to go on a date at Applebee's. We're double dating tonight. That is so accurate. The dresses they were wearing and shit looked like they were about to go out that night. Damn. Hope McCool don't know.
I still think this is for the Ukrainian girl to win.
Oh, you talking about LFG?
Yeah.
I got her winning too. You know, WWE never misses a blonde. They never miss a blonde.
JK, he ain't taking strays.
He getting strays from everybody. The community's coming after you. Mountain's born, but he's coming for you. No. I honestly wish they started at Mount Born. We coming for you.
Mount Born, we coming for you. And then Ethan Page jumps Ricochet to the end of the night.
Yeah, and the thing. I don't know why they added that last part. Like it didn't seem like it added anything to the show, just like that. And then they went back to Jordan Grace and Stephanie staring at each other after they proved that they could coexist for this tag match. Again, NXT was my favorite show just for all the wrong reasons. And I think it's the Don. The Don won the week for me, and I enjoyed the matches. To be honest,
I don't think the Don wins. I think that's probably one of my favorite bits of NXT.
It brought me so much joy for the wrong reasons.
It was like watching. It's like watching a terrible version of The Sopranos.
You mean Tony Soprano had a wrestling match on that show?
Yeah, you see, he was wearing a mask and everything.
Yeah, and then Christopher was out there going after Carmella. God damn it, Sopranos metaphors.
Yeah,
I guess Big Pussy drove him over to the safe house. Who knows?
Yeah, NXT just felt a little bit short for me. They had a lot of things that just didn't need to happen on there.
Ava was on the show like 3 times. I think that's the problem.
I think Ren Sinclair's fallen victim to being a manager again, and I think she should be wrestling more.
I think she's gonna get back in the game when they break up. When they break up, yeah, when Charles break up with them.
But so, like I don't. They're pushing Miles too quickly because I actually enjoyed the Miles Bourne and Tavian Height.
They were a good tag team. Yeah,
they're a very good tag team.
They were a really good tag team. But you know, this is WWE world, Manny. There can only be one. Tag team wrestling suck. They don't care. They don't care.
It does.
All right. This show's an hour and 7 minutes of lunacy. We went from John Madden to talking about the mob hits to women's diversity. We had a very serious conversation on this show. After talking about a man.
We did.
And then we started talking about a man. Yeah. Then we started talking about a man being chased by another man with one leg. He needs scissors to stab him.
Well, because I don't think you can actually ever call a 2-on-1 match a handicap match ever again.
No. I think we need to get rid of that entirely, probably. Just to go full lefty on that one. Or something. You remember the match of the IWC say if they change it from a handicap match, they start calling it 2-on-1?
It's a 2-on-1 match.
No, but they just call it 2-on-1 match. Tonight we're gonna have a 2-on-1 match. That's a handicap match. And you never hear him say it again. And then you get the report from Meltzer. WWE is refusing to use the term handicap as it seemed deeply offensive, which I can see that happening.
Yeah. So yeah. I may appear on Saturday's show. I may not. Depends on it. It is the 1 year anniversary of my dad passing away on Saturday. It has been a strange year. I want to thank my boys for actually helping me get through it.
Rika's trying to take credit right now.
You don't realize doing the shows like how much it's how much it's been easy just try and be normal in this strange transition. The dog has helped too.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's been strange, yeah.
Yeah. But you know what, Manny? You've been strong all year to take this so serious, though. You've been, handling it really well. You quit drinking. You've lost weight. You got a dog. You have a girlfriend. You're out there living your best life. I know you may be suffering in quiet and stuff, but you know what? You don't show it. You look. I mean, somehow I don't know how you do it. You just you're pushing through it. You push it through it, and you know what? I commend you, my partner, for your efforts of showing up every week.
I do try and show up every week, even when I'm fucking tired. You know, I haven't been the same since WrestleMania. My body aches, and all I do is sit here and talk.
Yeah, but for hours on hours.
My body aches.
For hours and hours. We're doing now. You know what? I'm not gonna make freak off jokes. I'm done. I'm not talking about Diddy anymore. I'm done. It's getting disgusting. It's getting real disgusting. Like, all right. Here we go.
First of all, you wouldn't even push that hard for it. You just went for it.
Yeah, no. I don't know if you've been following, but at one point, Manny, super villain Sean P. Diddy Combs gets Cassie, takes her to a hotel, and the hotel there's shit in the toilet, there's piss and shit everywhere, and throws her in there. Just because. So, and they're basically saying that him and his guy just shit all over the place and made her sit there.
Oh.
Like, what? He's blown up Kid Cudi's car.
The price to be a star under him, disgusting.
Yeah, it's like, what? These freak offs would go for 4 days, sometimes 10 hours. It's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. And it's like day 3 of the trial. Day 3. What a piece of shit.
I
no pun intended about to shell them all and all that. What a piece of shit.
It's taken so long to get here. He's definitely going down, but like he's not gonna serve the severe hard time, is he?
I don't know, because right now they haven't talked about really the trafficking of it all, or the stuff he's actually being tried to talk about, his domestic violence against Cassie, which he's not technically on trial for. They settled out of court. So this is for the other stuff. So he's technically in the clear for all the shit he did to Cassie, but to do the full picture of who the kind of monster he is, you got to do all this. But then yeah, like he said, he's so young, he won't stop, and it's really not like.
Can you add the after that?
Yeah, no, I'm done. I'm not adding the Diddy shake. The one thing this is taking away from me is that I can never watch Making the Band season 2 ever again in peace.
In peace. Why would you go back and rewatch that?
I'm watching it right now. I'm doing a rewatch right now. Die.
The only thing I've ever gone back to rewatch is Jersey Shore, and I feel terrible for doing it.
Wait, you going back for it?
Yeah, I went back. I realized there's not much to watch on Paramount Plus. So
no, I canceled mine, or I changed cards and then changed back.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna cancel it at some point. I watched all of the original MTV Jersey Shore, and then I started watching the other bits when they're older, and all they do is fucking argue, and I think it's great.
We all have our vices, man. You know, you watch that. I watched like Live PD and what's the other? I'm trying to think of what's the biggest nonsense I'm watching right now, and I can't think of it right now. I think I'm actually in a good place where I'm not watching actual nonsense. Or that time when I had my Hell's Kitchen bender, when I went back and watched it because they had the cuss words uncensored, which made me laugh even more.
I've gone back and started watching. You see, this didn't come over to America. A UK TV show called The Bill, which is basically a cop show. Fictional. Everything's fictional in this one. And I don't know why I'm watching it, Marcus.
Don't worry about it. Sometimes things come magically.
The other day, I went downstairs. My mum was watching it. I went downstairs. I'm putting Rika's jacket on. We're going to go outside. And then I started watching this. It was on. I was like, we ain't walking now. I'm into this.
This show's really. So there was a point during the pandemic where me and Ryan had appointment viewing. This show is streaming. The show I'm going to talk about was streaming on Netflix anyway. But we made a point we're only watching the show together. It was Jack Taylor starring Ian Glenn. We were fucking hooked to that. It wasn't the best show in the world, but it was fucking hilarious. We watched it for the wrong reasons. And then we got caught up into it.
I got caught up into watching Mythic Quest on Apple TV.
Oh, Apple, right? Is that a good show?
Yeah, it's not really a good show, Marcus. There's an Australian on it has the most annoying Australian accent. I even went to my Australian friend of like, is this accent real?
Are you here's a show on Apple that's I think it's really good. It's the Studio. It's a Seth Rogen show.
I've been meaning to watch that.
It's a funny show. It's entertaining. It's entertaining.
There's a show on Apple TV. I think it's called Bad Sisters or something like that.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I didn't watch it yet.
It's a good show.
I think Apple Plus is sneaking up and like getting a bunch of good shows.
Real like sleepers on there. Like I watched Silo the second season. I wasn't feeling it because it was very, very slow the second season.
I gotta watch it.
But season 1 was really, really good. There's so much good stuff on it. The therapy one.
Damn, why can I remember? Yeah. With Harrison Ford and
it's such a good show.
Jason Segel. Shrinking.
Yeah, Apple TV have got really good.
They got good shows. Like Severance is a good show. Studio is a good show. There's a Vince Vaughn like detective show on the air. I think it's called like
it's on
maybe Bad Monkey, something like that.
Yeah, it's on the beach or something like that.
Yeah, that was a good show. Jimmy is in the chat. He enjoys C. That's When Everybody's Blind. I think it was starring Jason Momoa. That's one of their early shows. They got some good shows in that. They got like they're pulling through.
I think Apple TV is one of the ones that's like that's a good subscription service. If you don't naturally get it through your phone service and stuff like
they had that one show. It was a documentary 2-parter of the First on the Call Sheet. That was good. They separated for men and women too, because I thought it was only a man thing, and I was like, oh, and they're like, oh, episode 2 is for the women. I was like, oh, okay. Columbo is great. Hey, if you want a Columbo show, it's the only thing I'm watching on Peacock other than wrestling. Poker Face is a very Columbo. It's just Columbo, but it's a pretty solid show. It's fun.
I can't wait for next week because I actually want to watch Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be so good. I can't imagine it being bad. It's rare when I see a movie, I go, I can't imagine it going wrong at any point in that movie. I love those fucking movies.
But the thing is, the most in the last 5 years, the Tom Cruise movie come out, I walk out of cinema feeling amped, like every like machismo inside of you just comes pouring out your veins. It's like, I'm a man.
You know what's good about Tom Cruise movies? They're fucking simple. It's nothing crazy. You just go in there, you're gonna see some good action. A plot that probably vaguely makes sense, but enough for you to be like, "Oh shit!" It's just a simple. I got through this about 2 hours runtime, and you go like, "That was a good time. I can do that again." It's like the reverse of the Fast and the Furious, where you feel dirty after watching it.
I don't feel dirty after watching it.
I feel dirty. Why do I keep giving them my money, Manny?
I'm telling you now, I don't ever see. I remember you and Eric had problems with Brothers in Space, but I enjoyed that entire. I went into that movie. Do you know what? I took all common sense and anything that was inside my brain. I took it out and I went.
Yeah, you gotta take it out. But it's so the franchise is so ridiculous at this point. It's just I feel dirty after going like, why? These movies are absolute garbage. Absolute
you know what?
Garbage.
Do you remember this was based on street racing to begin with? They are so far away from that now.
So the next one, Manny, they rewrote it and whatnot. They're going to reshoot some stuff, and apparently you're going back to street racing for the very final movie. Which I'm going like, it's too late. We've gone too far.
Once you go to space, there's no coming back to street racing.
Bringing people back from the dead, going to space. Anything Dwayne Johnson did in the franchise.
Marcus, John Cena and a little boy went out in a canoe and used vodka as a source of
yes. And well, remember they escaped they out the plane, right? And when they go to the cargo ship, and then they got to the canoe, and he used to real science. And I will be there for the next one, even though Eric and Ryan both quit.
I'm never quitting on film like that.
Eric and Ryan both quit. But I'll be there for life.
Do you know they can't? Do you know why? They want professional wrestling. Everything in professional is just as ridiculous as what happens in Fast and the Furious.
Honestly, it's the equivalent. But I don't even know how we got on these conversations, but yeah, check out Apple Plus.
Yeah. Well, I may be back on Saturday. Marcus will be back on Saturday with Eric for these Sharpshooters Wrestling podcast. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and remember. Where's all my images? Remember.
Boom. Yeah, they could have had. I think Christian Bale could have played both. He could have got fat and did both, or just find a fat actor. There had to be somebody. There had to be a fat actor.
Marcus, in an alternative universe, this could be the Green Lantern movie. How Jordan lost his way. How Jordan went.
That's brilliant. I mean, the way DC goes, this could be. It'd be like that's Hal Jordan. And that's Guy Gardner right there.
No. Al Davis
not Guy. Cal.
No, Al Davis is Sinestro.
Oh shit! You know what? Christian Bale would be a good Sinestro. Anyway, I'm sure he's down on a new TV show going on. I saw a Superman trailer again.
I did too.
I don't want my expectations, Manny. I don't want them to do DC again. I'm such a DC fanboy. Again, I'm like the one guy that gets hyped. I know we're back and we're supposed to leave. I get hyped and I go like, it can be okay. It can be okay. And it ends up not being okay, but then I was still trying to justify. But since the Flash, it kind of hurt. That was a stabbing wound. That was a mortal wound.
After the Flash, though.
What came after the Flash?
The Blue Beetle.
Did that come out before or after the Flash?
After the Flash.
I thought it came out before.
No, that came
out.
Blue
Beetle was all right.
I didn't watch that. The kid from Cobra Kai. Yeah, I didn't watch that.
Oh, was it Black Adam? Came after the Flash? No, Black Adam came before the Flash because Henry Cavill. No, Black Adam came
because you sold your soul.
Because Henry Cavill we thought was coming back. I did sell my soul, and I do it again. It wasn't the worst.
You sold your soul for Black Adam. If there was ever a film to die on a hill for, that's the one you chose.
No. I said it was all right. All right, there was some all right stuff in Black Adam. Did I think it was an absolute disaster? No. It wasn't Morbius and Metal Web bad.
On a hill for that movie, and that movie was atrocious.
I think the worst DC movie I died on a hill for is Batman v Superman, which is absolute trash, but I still enjoy the fuck out of that.
That wasn't that bad of a movie, though. To be fair, there have been worse because if you compare it to that Wonder Woman film,
84, yeah,
Woo. That was bad.
I tried watching Shazam 2 and I turned it off right away. I think that's the only DC movie I have never seen. No, I didn't see Aquaman 2 either.
I haven't watched even Aquaman 1.
Aquaman 1 is actually solid.
It's
a Thor ripoff. It's a Thor ripoff. Yeah, Superman, don't let me down. Superman, fuck you.
I mean, there's some good movies coming out this summer, so there may be some accidental reviews of some coming up. So, spoiler warnings ahead.
Yeah. All right, here we go, Manny. This is the question of questions. More likely to be a good movie, Superman or Fantastic Four? Fantastic Four is like 0 for 5 movies. Like Fantastic Four is playing baseball, they coming to the plate, and you like, God damn, that's an out. Fantastic Four is playing football, you know they throwing an interception.
There's times where they put people in a team, and you go, "Oh, I feel bad for that wrestler. Like he doesn't deserve this."
You would pick
When
up
you see
Pascal?
Pedro, when you see Pedro, I was like, "No, Pedro, why? Why, Pedro? You
know
sold
what?
out, Pedro."
I believe in the Fantastic Four. I think it's going to be all right.
No.
I think Superman's going to be all right. I'm going to be very positive, but I think Mission Impossible will be 1,000,000 times better than all of them.
So for me, I haven't even watched Captain America, which came out in February. For me, so far, the movie of the year is still Sinners.
Yeah.
Followed by the Thunderbolts.
There was something I saw this year that I was like, oh, it's really good. I can't remember. I think it was like on Netflix or something. I can't remember. I don't know. I can't remember this.
But I feel that Brad Pitt movie is going to be like a little
F1.
Yeah, F1. I think that's going to be a little show stealer because no one's expecting anything of that.
Yeah, it looks like a fun little racing movie. It looks like a good racing movie.
Yeah,
like the F1 stuff, and it looks like it's gonna. I know it's another Brad Pitt sports movie, but it reminds me of what if Moneyball was in fucking racing, and that's what I hope for it.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to that, and we should probably end the show because we've been talking for an hour and a half.
Yeah, now we're just hanging out. It's just not,
yeah,
we're not even talking. This is us in our pre-show. This is us in our post-show. We haven't lingered in a long time.
Well, I have a feeling I have a feeling that we should probably start recording the whenever we enter the studio, and putting that as a Patreon, and then someone could pay like $1 for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to charge anybody because you know how late I show up sometimes.
Yeah, well, it depends. Sometimes you may get half an hour talk. Sometimes you may get like five minutes of talk.
I'm going to give y'all 50. I'm giving y'all 25 cents for this one. Y'all were talking about actual show stuff. This is bullshit.
Yeah, so like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Everyone will possibly be back on Saturday for the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast with Eric. What hasn't been said about this image is I'm almost as tall as Will Osprey.
You know what? This image doesn't actually do you just because I blew Will up a little bit. Because I made his head bigger. I made his head a little bigger. He's already blurry. But it looks like he's towering over you. He's not.
He's not.
He's not. They're almost at eye level.
Which means I'm tall or Will Ospreay short.
Man, you should have stood on something, to be honest. You should have stood on something.
No, I've done that before and it looks ridiculous.
Or tell Will to stand with his legs split, like the Vince McMahon used to have the interviewers do in the back. Captain Kelly, take off your heels.
I can't ask Will Ospreay to do that.
We look the same height, Will. Please. I want to be a world champion. All right, let's wrap it up. We see you guys.
Yeah, we'll see you. Bye. End, damn it. End.